Hello guys, what's up? I'm Engineer AK, and in today's lecture we are going to solve the second problem of chapter 1, Introduction to Static, right? So let's start. So determine the magnitude of the vector sum, right? So we have to find the magnitude of this sum. Like there is two vector v1 and v2 as shown here. Here v1 equal to 10 unit and v2 is equal to 12 unit. We have to find the sum of them, and then we will find the magnitude of it. And the angle theta x mean the angle that this vector is making with the positive x-axis, which we make with the positive x-axis, right? Complete both graphical and algebraic methods. So we have to find both the graphically and also algebraically the solution, right? And here the v2 is making a 60-degree angle with negative x-axis. So here I have written that v1 is equal to 10 unit. It is given in question, and v2 is equal to 10 units, and it has an angle of 60 degree with the negative x-axis. So what we were asked in this question, that we have to find the magnitude. First we have to sum up these two vectors, and then we have to find the magnitude of it, right? And in the second portion we were asked to find the angle that it is making with the positive x-axis, and at last we will also show it graphically, that how it look like. So let's get started. So let first me take this triangle, right? If I draw this triangle over here, so it is something like this, right? And here it is 3 and 4. So here it is 4, and here it is 3. So what we have to do that first we have to find this angle. So if I apply tangent, so tangent theta is equal to perpendicular by base. So here perpendicular is 3 and base is 4. So if I plug in the value, so perpendicular is 3 and the base is 4. So let's plug in this value in calculator. Here we go. And then we want to find this theta. So if tangent moves here, so it becomes tan inverse, right? So tan inverse 3 divided by 4. So its angle is 36.86, right? So 36.86. Let me 36.86 36.86 degrees. So that's the angle that we have find, that the vector 1, like this vector, this angle, that it is making 36.86 degree with the positive x-axis, this v1, right? Now what we will do that, let me first draw the coordinate. Now we have to first take me, like if I take this one, and here let me draw the vector 1. It is something like that, and it will be having two components, right? One in the here, if I draw it, so one will be in the x direction, right? And the another will be in the y direction. So it will be having two components, right? So, and this is angle, this is this one angle 36.86, right? And here the value is 10 units, right? So it's 10. right? So now in previous lecture, in lecture 1, we have discussed that if the angle is making with this x-axis, right, with this, so the axis with which angle is made, we take it as cos, right, and the opposite to it or in front of it, we take this as sine, right? So I just will write here c mean cos, and here I will write as s mean it's the sine component, and here we will write the the vector v1, right? So we will multiply here as well. So here if I find the component of v1, so for the x component, this one, what we have that v1x is equal to v1 and cos of theta, right? So if we plug in the value, so I know that v1 is 10, and cos of we know that the angle is 36.86, right? So if I plug in this value in calculator, so 10 cos of 36.86, so it comes out to be 8, right? And it is in x direction, so I will put here I, right, the unit vector in the x direction. And if I want to find the y component of v1, so here we will be having, instead of cos, we will just replace it with sine. So here the v1 value is 10 and the angle is 36.86, so 36.86. Oh, okay, 36.86, and if I plug in the value in calculator, so 10 sine of 36.86, so it comes out to be approximately 6, right? If I round off it, so it become 6y, 6j, right? I have write j because it is the unit vector in the y direction, so that's why I have plug in here 6. So if I write it, so v1 will be equal to 8 8i and plus 6j. So that's v1, right? We have find the v1. Similarly, if we see this one, the second vector, so let me draw it here. Oops, wait, let me make it a bit shorter. Let's suppose it is okay. So here the second component is something like that, right? The v2, and it will also be having two components, right? So one will be this one in x direction, and the second will be in the y direction, right? And we know that this is making an angle of 60 degree with the negative x-axis, right? But we will find it from here. So if I want to find this angle, so what I will do that this complete is 180, right? And this angle here, this one, this is 60, so I will minus 60, right? So I will find it this, and as I told you that this will be the cos component, right? And this will be the sine component, and here the value is 12 unit. So here if I want to find the x component of the v2 vector. So I will plug just the values here. So it's 12, and the angle is 180 minus 60, right? So if I plug in this value in calculator, so what I will get, 12 multiplied by cos 180 minus 60, here we go. So it comes out to be minus 6, right? Minus 6i, because it's the unit vector in the x direction, so minus 6i. And similarly for the y component, what we have to do that instead of cos we will just write sine, right? So here again it's 12, and it will be 180 minus 60. And if I plug in the value in calculator, so here we will just replace it with a sine. So we almost get 10.39, right? So 10.39 j, right? And if I write it over here, so it will be, the v2 vector will be minus 6i and plus 10.39 j, right? So now we have find the v1 and v2. Now what we have to do, that we just will sum it, right? We will just plug in the values here. So if I plug in the value, let me first v1 is 8i plus 6j, 8i plus 6j, right? Then plus, and here the v2 is minus 6 plus 10.39, so it will be minus 6 plus minus 6i, sorry, minus 6i plus 10.39 j, right? So here we will plus the j with the j and the I with I. So here it is plus 8i minus, so it will give me 2i, right? Plus, if I plus it, if I sum them up, so it will be 16.39, 16.39, right? So it is giving me that. So if I want to, so this is the x component and this is the y component. If you want to find the magnitude, so what we will do, that we will just plug in the values, add this square, right? And plus 16.39 square, right? And under the root, like I'm finding the magnitude of this vector. That was the part 1. So if I plug in these values in calculator, so what I will get, let's see. So under the root 2 square plus 16.39 square, so it comes out to be 16.51, right? So 16.51 units. They didn't give here units. Let me write it in. So units. So that is the first answer, right? 16.51, it's the magnitude of this vector. Now if we want to find the angle, so what we have to do, that we will just put here the y. So y here is 16.39, 16.39, right? And the x is 2, right? If I just bring it over here, right, so it will 10 will come here, so it will become 10 inwards, right? Let me delete it. Okay, so if we plug in the values, so 10 inverse 16.39 divided by 2, so it is making 83.04 angle with positive x-axis, 83.04. so 83.04, oops, 3 4 83.04. let me check it. Yes, 04. So that's the angle we have find it, right? And that's the magnitude. Now the next thing we have to do, that we have to just graphically show it, show that. So we will simply if I draw it, so it's the v vector. I will just write it v, right? And it is making an angle of 83.04 so that's how you can and degree, yes, so that's how you can graphically represent it. So that's it for today, and see you in next video. Thanks for watching.